She was just a poor waitress serving coffee at a fancy restaurant when a billionaire CEO walked in. He laughed at her apron, mocked her shoes, and signed a $10,000 tip just to show off. But when she looked at the receipt, her hands started shaking. "Sir," she said softly, "that's my dad's signature." The billionaire froze. His glass slipped and shattered on the floor. Everyone turned silent. What happened next changed both of their lives forever. Part 1. It was a quiet Tuesday morning at the Silver Leaf Diner in downtown New York. Mia, a 23-year-old waitress, moved fast between tables, serving coffee and pancakes. Her shoes were old, her uniform a little faded, but her smile never failed. She worked double shifts, trying to pay off debts left by her father, a brilliant engineer who disappeared 2 years ago, after his small company collapsed. That morning, the diner door opened and in walked Ethan Cole, the billionaire CEO of Cole Dynamics. Everyone whispered as he entered. Expensive suit. Gold watch. A man who looked like he never heard the word no. Mia walked over with her notebook. "Good morning, sir. What can I get you?" "Coffee." "Black," he said without even looking at her. "And make it quick." She nodded politely. As she poured the coffee, Ethan looked up and saw her name tag, Mia Walker. Something about that name made him pause for half a second. But then he looked away. Part 2, an hour passed. Ethan was still at the diner, typing on his laptop. Mia refilled his cup, quiet and calm. When his meeting call ended, he tossed a $100 bill on the table and smirked. "Keep the change," he said. "Buy yourself some new shoes." The comment stung, but Mia stayed professional. "Thank you, sir." He grabbed the check, signed it fast, and stood up. Mia picked it up from the table and froze. Her eyes widened. Her breath caught in her chest. That signature, the way the D looped, the long tail on the W. It was her father's handwriting. Her voice shook. "Sir, this signature. That's my dad's." Ethan turned, confused. "What did you just say?" "My dad, Daniel Walker, signed like this. I've seen it my whole life." Ethan's face went pale. The glass in his hand slipped and shattered on the floor. "Daniel Walker?" he whispered. "That can't be." Part 3. Ethan sat back down, speechless. His hands were shaking. "Mia, your father worked for me," he said quietly. "He was the lead engineer at Cole Dynamics years ago." Mia's eyes filled with tears. "Then why did we lose everything? Why did he disappear?" Ethan's voice broke. He discovered something. A new design that could have changed everything. But my partner, Mark Reynolds, stole it. I signed the documents without realizing. Your dad tried to warn me. But by the time I found out, he was gone. Mia's voice trembled. He said nobody believed him. He felt betrayed. Ethan lowered his head. I believed the wrong people. I destroyed a good man's life. For a moment, silence filled the diner. The hum of the coffee machine, the soft chatter, everything faded away. "I'm sorry, Mia," he whispered. "I'll make this right." Part 4. Ethan couldn't forget her words. The next week, he returned to the diner again and again. He watched her work, calm and kind, treating every customer with the same respect he once forgot to show people. One evening, after closing time, he waited outside with a file in his hand. "Mia," he said softly, "I found the truth. Your dad was right. He owned the original patent. It was stolen." She looked at the folder, tears forming again. "You can't fix the past, Ethan." "I know," he said, "but I can rebuild what was taken." Inside the file was a document transferring half the company shares from the stolen project to Daniel Walker's estate. Mia covered her mouth, speechless. "Why are you doing this?" Ethan smiled faintly. "Because your father believed in honesty. and you reminded me what it means to be human again. Part 5. 6 months later, the old diner was gone. In its place stood a new cafe called Walker's Hope. A golden plaque at the door read, "In memory of Daniel Walker, a man who built dreams." Mia managed the cafe herself. And every morning, Ethan stopped by for coffee, not as a CEO, but as someone who cared. One afternoon, as the sun dipped behind the city skyline, he brought her 2 cups of coffee. "Black, no sugar," he said, smiling. I remembered. She laughed softly. "Guess you learned something after all." He looked at her for a long moment. "No, Mia, you taught me everything." As the sun painted the sky orange and gold, they sat together, 2 lives healed by truth, connected by fate, and forever changed by one signature that had once destroyed everything and now rebuilt it all.